mark two positions, one at 40 millimeters and at the other end at 10 millimeters. Placed below each of the marking lines with just one wrap. Inside that marking $450mm long and doubled in half is wound from the nichrome cable 1 metre long. Again is halved. And this becomes your lead for the back end of the heater. Some ceramic paper. This ceramic paper has already been cut, but it will be 180 millimeters by 190 millimeters, is 500 millimeters long. So in preparation, this sleeving, one piece is 220 millimeters long and the other piece is 120 millimeters long. To crimp the heater to the connection cable, we'll show that in a minute, and a roll of nichrome wire. Okay, what we are about to make now, or the process we're about to undertake, is creating the heater element. The heater element is attached to the Pythagoras tube with a starting lead which is wrapped to the closer end of the Pythagoras tube. So the starting end is where we begin with the starting lead of the heater, and the finishing lead is wrapped in position at the longer exposed end of the Pythagoras tube. So to begin the process, the starting lead is attached on the middle of the fiberglass tape by equaling both ends, bringing down and twisting and making a firm twist. Be careful not to over twist. If you over twist, if you go too far, you can see it will easily break. So you do not twist too hard. Just a nice firm twist so that it's tight on the fiberglass. So this is the starting point for our heater element. We now wind on a length of heater element, nichrome wire, equivalent to 6.4 ohms. The nichrome wire supplied, we attach the same as the starting length of our starting lead, and we attach to the starting lead by hand only, twisting. We now proceed to wind on a length of cable of nichrome wire. I'll take a break, mate. I have to get my multimeter. So, you're on, mate. A digital multimeter measuring ohms. We look for a total resistance of 6.4 ohms. So in this case we have too much. Which is unfortunate. Do you want to do that bit again, mate?
That's all good. I think it's worthwhile them knowing that they've got to aim for.
So we are looking for 6.4 ohms. So we're going too far. It's not far enough. 6.4 is what we're looking for. Remember, when measuring ohms, that the heater element is pulled apart. If sections are touching, you will get a false reading. This must be apart. The windings, each winding must be apart. So now that we have 6.4 ohms, we cut a length from there equivalent to about 350 millimeters. We hold that in place and tighten we tape the starting cable firmly. The finishing lead will be in the centre of the end piece. So we firm up that heater element with roughly in the middle and tape the middle section. We double check, confirm our resistance. 6.4 was a tiny bit down there, so 6.4 is okay. We hold firmly and take the final lead, the finishing lead. That finishing lead, one part is with the heater element wire, and we bring that together. Again, twist gently, not too hard, a nice gentle turn. So that's a bit too loose. See how it moves here? That's too loose with a little bit more. So we want to twist until this doesn't move. So that doesn't move, so that's good. That you can move that firmly in place there. Now the lead cannot go past the fiberglass, it must stay on this side. That lead must stay on this side of the fiberglass because it will be going into that piece there, so it must stay away from there. The fiberglass tape again is used to tape that in position, again keeping this side of your original marked tape. These should be evenly spaced and firm, and we have the start of the heater element. So we have our beginning lead, our finishing lead. Now these leads have to be twisted together. So I begin with the starting lead, twisting gently clockwise, cutting so that all four leads finish at the same point. And you can twist with a pair of pliers, but I like to use a battery drill, which you gently clamp the lead and turn gently. Do not go too far, that's enough there. Similarly on the finishing lead, we get the same length. So now we have the heater element wound complete. So what we do now is we attach the lead wire to the heater element leads. So we turn the starting lead gently about 5 to 10 millimeters away from the ceramic, and we like to cut about 40 millimeters. So about 40 millimeters from there to there, we cut that. And similarly for the finishing lead, it should finish about 10 to 20 millimeters below the starting lead, so about here. So we look about 20 millimeters below, so about here. And that's just so these are offset when they're wound together. So to complete the connection to the high temperature connection cable, we use copper crimp links. These crimp links are hollow to the centre. Make sure that you push the crimp link all the way in, not a little bit in, all the way in. To do that, you must mark with your fingers here to show, sorry, you will have to twist after that cut. You will have to just twist the ends so that it fits into the crimp link. Mark with your fingers so you can see how much of the crimp link has gone in, and this you see has slid on, so that a bit of a twist and that's slid on. So that crimp link is now on, is now ready for crimping. We have a crimping tool. We are using the 2.5 to 4mm crimp, and we crimp just part from the centre once and twice, so that crimps the finishing lead to the crimp lug. We do the same thing for the starting lead. So now the heater element is ready for the connection wire. We now have the 500mm piece of connection wire that we cut earlier. This is to connect into the crimp links. So we need approximately 10 to 15mm stripped from the end. I like to put a little bit more than fits, a tiny bit more than fits into the crimp, and push and twist until the insulation hits the crimp lug. We crimp again, the same crimping tool, this time up near the cable first, and then in the middle, and on the opposite side from the other crimp, so it sort of straightens out. Again, this will be a little bit longer. Push and twist until it's right up against it. Again, crimping close to the cable first, and then close to the middle. So that finishes the connection wire connecting to the connection leads. The next process is the use of the fiberglass tape to insulate these crimp links here and here. Begin approximately the same width of the tape below the crimp link, and once and again the same width of the tape above the crimp link, and then we go back down a second time. So So that insulates that crimp link. Okay, so the two crimp links are now insulated. We parallel these up until we get the center point of the connection cable, and we cut that. Now the fiberglass insulating sleeving is used to cover the heater cable, the heater leader. This does concertina up and becomes larger, so we push it on so the smaller piece covers the smaller connection lead. If you push that on, you'll see it open up all the way down to the ceramic, and just lengthen. The longer piece goes on the longer lead. So you're holding this, and this pushing opens up. Now they should have finished about the same point, but that's about right. So that is the heater element complete. We now need to wrap the element with the ceramic paper. So now our intention is to wrap the ceramic paper around the heater element. In order to do that, we take the 180 millimeter length is running along the length of the heater. The final wrap for the ceramic paper is to be wrapping clockwise over the top, so that when the paper is put into the probe, that it goes away from the thread and tightens up. So in order to do this, we have to have an insulating layer against the ceramic tube, which is insulating this final lead. To do that, we take a small knife and, looking where, remembering this paper here must also come over and insulate underneath here. So we need enough length from where this exits out here to go underneath this lead here. So we make a judgment that we need approximately 50 to 60 millimeters here, and we make a small cut. That small cut allows that heater element to sit just off our fiberglass tape, so just above the fiberglass tape. So we have that heater lead underneath here. Now we look here and see where this lines up, and we make a longer cut here to wrap underneath the starting lead. So we have the finishing lead underneath here. We hold these together like a good piece of sushi. We're holding the finishing lead up against the ceramic, and we roll, keeping the paper firm and trying to keep these separate. With that firm again in hand, and with this rolling over in the clockwise position, we again use the fiberglass tape, and in 3 positions very firmly tape and cut in the middle, tape and cut, and finally on the end tape and cut. Drop that on the floor. And we have the heater element complete. This time the 2 leads haven't ended up opposite, they've ended up together. Now keep this to this side opposite, so we've taken that back a little bit.